This intro re-recorded by Lemon John because of audio difficulties. This is Hot Drop, where we bring you premier PUBG analysis, but not every episode. I'm Dano. I'm Cody. And I'm Lemon John. We stream Monday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/hotdrop_podcast. Discord link and hotline number in the show notes. Let us know how little updates you've gotten recently. Our topics for today include, well, let's just get into it. Housekeeping.
Disclaimer,
Remember,
audio quality is not that great. So just FYI, it's not your device. It's not your headphones. It's not your Bluetooth connection. It's not your shitty car radio. It is, in fact, my internet. Carry on.
additionally, we need to apologize because we missed an episode.
Yes.
We take full responsibility for missing an episode. But we also, got really, really busy and really, really stressed all at the same time.
Roll busy.
And so we apologize for that, but that's pretty much all we can do. Literally the busiest time of the year for me at work, which I'm pretty sure is done and over with now, other than the fact for me going to Louisville in 7 hours. Dan
Louisville.
is going to Switzerland or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
Sweden.
No,
Swedenserland.
I think it's Switzerland. Switzerland.
What about Mad Dog? Would Mad Dog know?
He might. We'll check in with him maybe at some point during this episode. Foreshadowing. Yeah, I'm just gonna go get all of the
Chocolate.
army knives,
Watches.
chocolates, watches, Swiss Miss
Mm.
that I can handle.
Not
That's
made
hot
in
chocolate
Sweden.
for you UK folks. I don't know if you have that out there. I don't even like chocolate, which is part of the joke. Yeah, going to Sweden. Nope. Going to Switzerland.
Got it.
You got me. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, fuck. Going to Switzerland.
That's cool. I've heard Switzerland is actually like gorgeous. It's one of the places that's on Shinmai's list that we have yet to like hit, but it's like pretty high up there.
I mean, you could take a weekend and go there.
I know it's a lot. Like we've been like traveling almost every month.
What's the linear mileage between Switzerland and London?
Whatever
It's
the
probably-
train is.
Yeah, it's probably pretty equivalent to between you and Cody.
I'm looking it up right now. Carry on.
Okay.
Close.
Anyway, so we're sorry we missed episodes. We got busy. Dan's going to Switzerland. John went on a trip as well. Did not get robbed in Rome. Waited in many of lines to go and see the Colosseum. Turns out there were no fights that day. He came back.
There was a guy who I think was having a panic attack. He was just slumped against the wall, breathing into a bag, and there was like 3
Rome?
security.
He was just
in
he was
the
just
Colosseum.
huffing paint, man.
He was he like his buddy was standing over him like on the phone, like ready to call someone, and there were like 3 security guards like standing away, like giving him space, but just like kind of watching him, not helping, not doing anything, just like staring at him. Well, this guy, probably like mid-20s, something like that, just like slumped against the wall in the Coliseum, just puffing from a bag.
Jeez.
I know. It's
Maybe
pretty,
he was just overwhelmed by the history.
Yeah, I would get
Yeah.
that way. There's a lot
or
there.
the dust. There was a lot of dust.
Yeah.
How many people after 2001 do you think walk into the Colosseum and ask if people are entertained?
464 miles.
That's
Linear.
not an answer to my question.
464 people.
It's pretty close.
We have Russell Crowe to blame for that.
I didn't even think about that.
What?
Didn't even think about
You didn't
saying
bring your
that.
sword and your armor or anything? Oh,
I was
had my
off by
armor.
1 year as the movie came out in 2000. I'm losing my
Good guess.
touch.
Good guess. Can't win them
When
all.
did The Matrix come out? 99?
99 or 2000, yeah. I'm not sure.
It was 99.
I'll Google it.
Maybe 98.
The Matrix. The
99.
Matrix came out in 1999,
Nice. It's a good movie.
March
It is.
31st.
But what about Matrix Reloaded or Matrix Revolution?
Okay, so there's a Just Right video discussing the
2003.
merits of those movies.
the
Matrix
merit of them.
2000.
The merits of those movies.
Okay,
yeah.
to be fair, when I saw them in theaters, I was still like, "Oh my god, that was the coolest thing ever!" And then when I watched them later, I was
Well,
like,
yeah, because you were 15.
So the YouTuber that I was talking about, Cody and I have a shared passion in this guy slightly, but he did a video which was like he went back and watched them and kind of paid more attention to it story wise and like kind of ignoring the action sequences thrown in there that were kind of gratuitous or other things like that, and came back with some pretty interesting points to like to the betterment of the series.
How long ago was that one? Because the Just Right guy is killer.
It wasn't too long. It was like maybe 6 months, 8 months ago, something like that. But yeah, he's great. I love watching his stuff. It's all super interesting, fascinating points of view that, like, even if I don't agree with everything he says, they're very valid and well researched and spoken.
Those sound like my points.
Eloquent.
Who is this guy? Friend of the show?
Just Right.
Just Right? Is this a YouTuber?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I've sent you his videos. He did the Harry
And
Potter.
we always ask
Oh,
if you've
yeah,
watched.
yeah.
We've always
you're
asked
always
if you
like,
watched
"Oh,
them.
yeah,
You always
Yeah,
say
yeah.
no.
And I always say no. Still no, by the way. Still no.
And you're like, oh no, I was at work, but I also watch other things at work.
Yeah,
I
right.
just don't
All
care
of the
about the
hot
videos
clips.
you send me.
Yep.
Yeah.
I only watch HOTDROP members clips.
Uh-huh.
So once he's in the Discord, yeah, I'll binge that for sure.
That's generally what people ask when I tell them I podcast and that I have a Twitch stream. They're like, "Oh man, you watch so and so?" I go, "No, but have you watched the Downward Spiral lately?" What about Bedford Boy?
What about TTR to Rice?
Have you seen Bedford's fishing videos? They are sick.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Remember how we had a PUBG podcast?
We did, and now we're just filling time because we don't have any fucking PUBG content.
Remember when we were news for the PUBG content?
Yeah.
We got a little today. We've got
Yeah.
a smidge.
So why don't we just like scoot out into the mobile home and see what's in there, and then we'll kind of extrapolate on what we don't have.
Yeah, we'll talk about the rest of the Matrix movies after that.
Yeah.
Mobile home beep beep.
All right. So there's some really big news coming out of Tencent yesterday, right?
Shout out to Charlie for posting this in the Discord.
Yeah.
Why don't we just
Some
call them
discussion
Dime?
about it this morning.
By the way, just dime
Dime?
piece. 10 cent.
That
I thought you were talking about Charlie. I was like, what?
Oh yeah, he's a dime piece for sure. Did you see Ping's candid photo of him? Oh my god.
No, what?
It's probably the worst photo I've ever
Oh,
seen in
the
my
one
life
at
of
the
anyone.
meetup?
Yeah.
Yeah. That one was great.
He looks very troubled. Continue.
very troubled. Anyway, so
To be fair, he did come very hungover that day.
Oh, so maybe he was troubled.
so Tencent, the mega giant of the mobile gaming industry in China, has just pulled the plug on PUBG Mobile China. So apparently, China needs to approve publishing license for mobile games, in order to stop children from playing constantly.
Mm-hmm.
That's the long and short of it. And because of that, PUBG Mobile in China could not get subscribers. They can't sell the battle passes. They can't have any money. So they were losing all this money. And so they pulled the plug on it. And they're just doing it, and they're pitching other game.
No, it's already approved. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the thing, is they had another kind of like semi-similar game that
But
they
it-
basically that was already greenlit.
Yeah, but apparently it's not that great, but everybody's playing it because they don't have PUBG anymore.
What's the game?
Yeah.
Do we know?
It's
Yes.
called A Game of Peace.
Game of Peace. Yep. It's called Game
Wow.
Game 4-Piece. 4-Piece, a new multiplayer battle game. So they spent over $300 million on the game. I think these are just numbers for China, though.
3 million? You think it's 3 million for China only?
I guess that wouldn't make sense because they're still developing the same game. So
PUBG
that's
is
okay.
Users have spent more than $320 million on the game, according to research firm Sensor Tower.
Oh yeah, so that's excluding China because they have not been able to spend money on this game, and it was always free to play. However,
Right.
they could not get it approved for licensing to sell.
Right.
So all of their money comes from any of the countries that do not restrict mobile gaming. Most of their subscriptions come from the U.S.
Huh.
Yeah. So I was talking to Tom about this today on Discord. ITT Tom, Education for Everyone's Future.
Naturally.
And he said that it means essentially nothing for the U.S. other than the fact that they're going to focus harder on selling to the U.S. So they're going to probably ramp up development for the mobile game in America.
Yeah.
Because that is their moneymaker.
There's also, I think India is a pretty big player in the global market, because I've recently seen some articles pretty much the same vein, like saying how they don't want kids to play this for a very long time. So they're enforcing some regulations about playtime for underage people, maybe even of age people, overage people. I'm not sure, but it seems to be pretty popular in India as well.
Interesting.
Most of PUBG's Chinese players will probably migrate to Game of Peace, according to this article, which apparently is going to drive mobile growth in China, which doesn't make sense to me because from what I understand, it seems subpar. But then they got a bunch of people to say, like, it helps build national pride for the People's Liberation Army, which makes then more sense.
So the new game is similar to PUBG, but less violent. Tribute to the People's Liberation Army Air Force. That's really interesting. I don't know. Do you think this is going to hold? Do you think they're going to keep this ban upheld? Or
yeah, probably. I think that if the Chinese government says they aren't doing something, they're not going to do it. So
if this new game is basically the same, then what does it matter if it's PUBG, I guess? I can't imagine that they would change the formula that much. Maybe less violent means less blood, or I don't know, like a training ground versus these are bullets killing people. Maybe they're like rubber bullets, and the people, instead of falling over, they just like put their hands up or something. But I'd like to look into more about this new game, because if it is Battle Royale, there's ways you can make it less violent, I think. Just make it a scenario, what do you call it? Simulation type thing, rather than a violent realism based game.
Right.
I mean, on at it, it looks like PUBG. It looks exactly like PUBG.
Yeah, I think it's more bureaucracy than anything else.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Guys, this is just PUBG.
Well, if Tencent owns the rights to PUBG, I don't know if they do. They're just a publisher. I'm looking at the screenshots, and yeah, it looks basically the same.
Let's not say basically. They changed some color schemes.
So it's different.
Here you go. China's PUBG replacement makes people wave goodbye after they die.
Yep. Every single time I see somebody die, they're waving goodbye.
It's literally PUBG with people waving. Wow.
Okay. Again,
Yeah,
Tom said it's not going to matter for the American game anyway, and it's probably going to mean that they're developing it more.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Sweet. And that's the mobile home.
Beep, beep. PCP.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll follow me, we are now entering the personal computer place.
I dunked on you suckies.
Yeah, see, I didn't get it, though, because I was like, I don't know if we've ever had this conversation.
Yeah, I don't remember this at all.
One time we had this conversation and you got dunked on.
What are you talking
explain
about?
the dunking?
One time. Duncan.
They
They call me Duncan Daniel. That's what they call me.
Nobody calls you Duncan Daniel.
Well, Dunkin' Donuts dropped the donuts, so they're just Dunkin'.
So you added
So
the
I added
Duncan?
Dunkin'. And the donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts Daniel.
They meaning PUBG Corp. Previously, in Update 27, changed the ump and vector so that they switched their ammo types. In that episode, whichever one that was, I didn't do my research, we talked about the velocity of the bullets, and I said, I think they also nerfed the bullet velocity. And you guys are like, no, it wasn't in the patch notes. That definitely didn't happen. They wouldn't do something that big and not put it in the patch notes. Literally quote John on that. Someone go find Bedford. I know you
can't
would.
say literally quote John on that.
Literally
if you
quote.
Didn't do your homework.
Actually quote. John was like, "Oh, that's too big. They wouldn't," or maybe it was Cody. Wouldn't put that.
That sounds like something I said. That honestly sounds like something I would have said.
I mean, it also sounds like something I would have said. I'm just trying to fact check Dan because he said literally quote him on it. I didn't look it up.
Literally quote him. One of the other, John or Cody, with those exact words that they said definitely.
This is the Hot Drop podcast with Dan and the others.
Yes,
Dan and the others.
Dan and the others. Is now 300 meters per second bullet velocity. Previously 400 meters per second.
A huge change.
Huge.
That's massive.
America.
Huge.
Vector 380. Previously 300. Discuss.
I wonder what the VSS is.
I really enjoy the ump. So I'm actually shocked that it's so much different because I think the ump is working very well for me lately.
Are you using it up close?
I mean, in linear miles?
Yeah, because they're shooting it. So,
but like, if Google Maps were in this equation,
how about we use the meters that are on the actual map in any map?
How about you don't tell me how to live? I don't use the goddamn imperial system. I do use the imperial system. Use the metric system, yeah.
I don't. Not often.
VSS bullet speed is 330.
Interesting.
Ump is 300.
Oh, I have
bad.
I have not been liking the Vector since the change, even though I don't know.
I think it's just a placebo because I feel the same. I'm like, it's not as good because there's red ammo next to it instead of blue. That's not as good.
Blue ammo. Blue ammo is good.
Yeah. Yeah, suck on those stats, Clay.
But also, I find that
and verify that, you son of a bitch.
Check me now, Mo Truck. I love that everybody in the Discord keeps calling out Clay now for fact checking things, and I love his fact checking
because it's all accurate.
It's all so accurate.
Yeah,
I'd totally forgotten the.
But y'all get so mad.
It does a one-hit kill every time.
On the leg.
You forgot too, right? Because you didn't call me out on that. I figured you.
No,
would.
But I called you out that it was not a apt metaphor for it or a comparison.
True. You can quote yourself on that.
Quote unquote.
I don't think I said that exactly. I don't think it's a quote. I don't think you know what quotes are, Dan.
I don't know. I am much too stressed out to think clearly.
Yeah, my head is in a million different places right now. This is awful. I'm sorry we're gracing your ears with this.
I totally forgot in the legs it does 90-ish.
The whole phrase of I legged him.
Yeah. And there's so many like tournament moments where like
where like they're jumping from behind a corner and they leg him. Yep. How did I forget that? Wow.
It's been a long time.
I've spent at least. Give me a second. I'm checking my stats. Give me a interlude audio, please.
Oh
God.
Interlude.
I hope John's volume leveling is working for that.
I'm gonna ramp it up just for that section.
Overtime. I have played at least 846 hours of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds since the last time I played Call of Duty, Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Yeah.
So,
didn't you check out the BR for?
Nope.
Oh, you didn't.
Did not.
I didn't either.
No.
Oh God, I want to play CS:GO.
I know. Maybe this is a CS:GO podcast. We've referenced it enough. We'll switch Cody over to that game and just call it in. Phone it in.
I would suck.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would.
I've just been hitting a new level of PUBG where I'm not sucking as bad. We've only used Cody Thirst like 10 times in the last few streams.
Really?
Yeah, we're only in the 40s, man.
Are people not thirsting as hard?
No,
or are you just not dying?
I mean, I would say we're even thirsting harder than other people at this point.
Sucky's
really
dunked.
A lot of times we wait for Clay to tell us whether or not to thirst too.
Yeah, that's the way.
His
Leave him
game
alive.
IQ is so goddamn high.
Yeah, he really has a good situational awareness of everything in the game.
Too good. Too good.
The first time
We're
we
like
played
in-
with him, I was like, "Oh my god,
I
this
know.
guy is really good."
We'll be dropping out of the plane and be like, it's a Stahlberg final circle. Sure as shit, it's a Stahlberg final circle.
I would have loved, and I would love, Clay, if you're out there and you want to play CSGO sometime, hit me up.
If you're out there,
Yeah, if you're out there. He might not be out there. I don't know. Maybe you
I mean, it
heard how
took him a while to listen to the last episode.
Yeah, exactly. And how poorly this episode's going. He's probably
I mean, I
phoning it
would
in.
say this is a pretty damn good episode. We are covering pretty well for having nothing to fucking talk about.
So about that ump, 300 meters per second is not
That's
enough.
bad. So I think I never knew why I didn't like the VSS, and it was probably the muzzle velocity. I mean, I did know that I hated trying to shoot people any distance.
Yeah, taste that rainbow.
That always, yeah, exactly. That always sucked. So now the ump is gonna feel like that from a distance, which I never really used at a distance anyway. But that might, clue some people in why they suck with the ump now.
Yeah. Well, I've always felt the Vector is a close range only, like 25 meters or less. And I always thought I could maybe get away with a 4X on an ump. But now I don't feel that way as much. Because its bullets are so slow. And I don't know, what did they didn't nerf the damage? They nerfed the damage.
I'm not going to say anything because you're just going to be
just gonna
like,
quote you on
"Ooh,
it."
call you out." Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was damage of ump by a point, I believe.
Increased, right?
No,
45 does
Oh,
more stopping power, so it should be increased.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, Wacky Jackie put out a video, and this is the video that I was watching when I was not watching the videos that John sent me. He determined that the ump is literally the worst gun based on time to kill and damage output. And he literally said, "This is the worst gun, worst SMG. Do not pick it up. Not worth your time." But I still have done decent work with it. I still am grinding my Survivor Pass to try to get that skin. So,
In your 6 hours of playtime a week?
yeah, dude. I'm crushing it. I'm like level 20. Let's go.
You buying those levels?
Hell no. Hell no.
You paying a skin?
No. It's grinding,
I
man.
don't believe him.
I'm grinding my life away.
Chat, let us know.
Hmm.
Is Dan paying a skin?
So, what else we got? PCP? One more thing here.
There was a Reddit post that I stumbled upon while trying to find content for this episode about a Redditor who plays mostly squads and was still struggling with the game, especially in solos, to get wins. Believe they said they had 300 or so hours in the game. Maybe that was somebody in the comments who said that's how long it took them to win. Yeah, that was someone in the comments. But anyway, this person was just looking for some tips on, how to close it out, what they're doing wrong, what they could do to improve their chances of winning in a solo match.
Mm.
I am not a great person to ask this because I don't play solo. None of us really do.
Nope.
Dan has done it the most of us. Dabble in dolos.
Call me Devlin Dunkin' Donuts Daniel.
But there are some generalized tips. There were some things I saw in the comments as well that were good tips. And as always, it definitely depends on who you are and what your game skill is and your previous FPS experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Dan and I got our first win together in a duo after 50 hours in the game, something like that. So it just depends on, what's going on. After that, I started crushing out.
Yeah, the wins just flowed. It was like a faucet. It was like, let's go.
Like Niagara Falls.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sunkies were sunkies.
Sunkies were ducked.
Sunkies were ducked. That's all.
Duckies were sucked.
One thing I saw this person mention in the comments is that they got the jitters when
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like top 20.
Oh yeah,
Cody, you probably still remember that game where I had like 12 kills and I was
Literally
trying to shoot that last
shaking.
guy. I was
Yep.
pooping myself. Pooping. That was
That's
the
why you
worst
wear
I've ever
diapers,
gotten.
kids. I get them worse when I come back to the game after a while, and it's a clutch situation.
I like it when Dan gets worked up because he'll tell you how worked up he is as he's being worked up.
Definitely.
Remember when he got stung by the bee?
Yeah, I did that once.
He got stung by a bee, and he had an EpiPen, but he was afraid to use the EpiPen. So he got his pants at his ankles, asking us if he should stab himself with the EpiPen. Should I stick it in? Should I stick it in? Should I do it? Should I do it? I can't do it. Should I do it? And he worked himself up so much that he didn't have an allergic reaction.
I didn't need an EpiPen. I don't need
Triggered
the
the
adrenaline. I
adrenaline
could
in
just
his
do it myself. That's right. Bottle that up, Big Pharma.
Oh my gosh, you just piss adrenaline.
Yeah. Excellent.
I'll wake up in the morning and I'll piss adrenaline.
Because of beast.
There's more to that story. I feel like more will that will come out at a later date.
I'm glad that Cody asked me if, I assume he was talking to you, but he made it sound very general when he was like, remember when and in the bee? And I'm like, I haven't known you for any length of time.
Oh, man. My friend and Cody's acquaintance. Till the very end.
Give the eulogy at your funeral one day and be like, John and I, we were acquaintances.
We might have spent the most time together of any single friend, but definitely didn't qualify as that.
Definitely would not fall into that category. Sure. We did everything together. I'm the godfather to his children, but I'm not his friend.
The Oxford English Dictionary defines friend. Anyway, back to Razzo Cine on Reddit.
No, that's
the dude who commented. It's
geez.
Alta account 746.
Did you say Rasputin?
Rasputin.
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 Yeah, but it turns out Rasputin.
That was good, man.
I just drink vodka. Oh, he must spit
This guy
so much.
This guy fucks.
I just spit all over the place, just pretending to sound like the guy from the last podcast on the left. But my God,
Greased up shoots.
microphone must be just covered. Good podcast, by the way, friend of the show. Anyway,
any tips for alt account 746?
I'm gonna rip off the commenter and say position. Positioning is everything.
So important.
Literally everything. That's why we get to more top 10 positions with Clay than any other hot dropper.
Imagine how many we would win if it were the three of us and Clay.
Oh my God. Instead of Kyle. Suck it, Kyle.
Now there's a friend.
No, it's all about positioning and reacting.
I think based on what he was, the nerves are going to be a huge factor until they get him under control, and you just have to keep getting up to that point in order to kind of deal with it. Like, just know that nerves are going to happen. You just have to get the experience to deal with it at the time. It's like, it's the same as like any type of training, right? Like, you just know what to expect and can deal with it.
Yeah, you're a smart man.
Smart man. He makes
There's also
points.
something about that was also related to positioning in the like circle towards the end. Doesn't know how to approach, basically, which is a tough thing to learn. You just have to kind of do it.
Mm-hmm.
Be aware, I think, is the most important thing for circle safety.
I have a question for the group. Have you ever...
Question for the group.
Question for the group. Have you ever once, once,
yeah,
ever loaded the training map?
No.
Cody?
One time.
That is all.
Question
time.
for the group outro.
Flamp, flamp. Oh, wait. That just reminded me. We had a request from Mantis for a Cody song.
Mm.
Do you remember what that was?
No.
What?
He wanted you to sing
Something specific.
Yeah.
When was this?
It was something that it was today, right?
It was something that you sang once before, definitely.
Today?
I think it was yesterday.
Oh, I missed
The
that.
same.
Oh,
day.
John's tomorrow already, so he might be thinking of today when it was really
No.
yesterday.
No. I don't think so. Might have been something I read today that was posted yesterday.
That could be true.
We're the worst.
Oh, it was the Game of Thrones theme song with the official lyrics.
Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones. That's all I know.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's all I put down. He said, official request to hear Cody sing it at the opening of the next pod. Sorry, this is like a half an hour in. Suck it.
I sent that to my dad once, and he goes, "What is that?" I go, "That's the lyrics to Game of Thrones." He took 20 minutes with the bubbles, with the dots, and just wrote, "I don't hear it." So then I sent him an emoji of it, me singing it in the emoji.
This is Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. People die now. People die now. I think that was also the second verse.
Probably, yeah.
People die now.
And then the bridge is dragons, dragons.
Oh man, PUBG, right, guys?
Yeah.
Station X?
Station X.
Flamp, flamp.
Station X. The patch is out there.
Station X.
Ekis.
How are you so far away from your mic now, Cody? Where'd you go? Come back.
Did you stand up again?
I laughed over here.
You move away from the mic to breathe in.
This is like, is this the Doppler effect here?
Yes, but it's going to be mixed down to mono, so no.
Good point.
Why do you mix it down to mono? Stereo's where it's at.
You don't need stereo when
Why
on a
wouldn't
voice.
you need stereo?
Because we're not doing
Who listens
ASMR.
on a stereo?
Clearly, I just proved to you that we do need stereo.
Oh, fine, I'll leave this one stereo.
I'm editing it.
John will consider leaving this one stereo, but probably won't because he does what he wants.
We'll see if I know how to do that.
You merely adapted this mono.
Station X.
I used to yell that line at my little brother, all the time because I lived in the basement. It was always dark because there were no windows.
Oh my god.
And he would always turn the lights on.
John!
Station.
Yeah, no. So I mean, maps selection, sort of map selection.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean,
There's a featured map, which currently will be Sanhok, and then they'll rotate that out.
yeah, and then they'll be like, "Hey, for a while, you can play Erangel after we give you the loot that we gave PC a long time ago."
Right. So you can pick the single map or any of the others, and that's your map selection. So you can have one or the rest.
So the one
Realistically,
is
if you go to
Sanhok,
quick join though, you're gonna more than likely be placed within the selected map, right?
Probably, I would imagine.
Because it'll go based on how many people are in the queue.
Right. Yes. Yeah. No, I agree with that. Though we have gotten Miramar a whole lot more on quick join than we ever have. If you just pick Miramar only, you're rarely going to get it because it's a 3 or 4 minute wait time.
Yeah,
But if you pick
duos
quick
are really
join,
tough too.
I feel like it'll just spin up a random map and then just put people in it. Look at me guessing. I don't know.
Look at you, all conjecture.
But I think this is good because Vikendi sucks on console, especially.
Yeah.
Well, good news for that. They are also releasing, or did release? They did. Nope. They're working on performance increases.
Remember? Yeah.
Heard
as
that
part of
before.
this dev update that we're referencing. And there's a great video of a single player dropping on Vikendi, theoretically on console, landing at castle, and there's barely any Play-Doh when there's one person in the server on a dev server.
We did it, everyone!
Science.
Mission accomplished!
This is definitely accurate to what you will experience. So just keep that in mind. The light is there.
Esports can commence. They are ready.
Ready!
Oh, I have to bring this up. This point I wrote down that it's like trying to pass off a rendered video as gameplay. It's an outright lie.
What video is gameplay?
Dumb as hell!
A rendered video.
Oh, rendered video. Oh, yeah. Garbage trash.
Yeah.
Garbage trash. Unacceptable.
Our team has been focused on improving rendering and world loading for quite some time. We've touched on this topic a few times in past dev letters, but this has been a very complex issue to tackle due to the large amounts of data required to calculate on all maps. Then why the fuck did you launch the map?
Good point.
Cheese and rice.
That was the outro to John Makes a Great Point. Modified for Cody, of course. Yeah, no updates. Just
That was the update.
Not a lot of updates besides that one. So.
Can you just roll my dumb as hell clip for me?
No, John, can you do that? I don't have that. Do you have that?
G sharp.
Okay, G sharp. me.
I'd really like to talk about how dumb as hell that is.
Dumb as hell.
You're so dumb. Really dumb. For real. Dumb as hell.
Can I get a note, please?
Me.
No,
You can't give your own note.
Do it one more time.
I'm
No,
giving
I have
you
to
the
go
note.
up from your note.
Oh.
What the fuck? Nope, lower.
Was that the THX opening?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna make my own note. Me. This is fucking stupid. Dumb as hell. Fix the game. That's my dumb as hell for the week.
Nice. Nailed it.
I know.
That was a big build up for not a lot of payoff. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah, well, I fucking nailed the timing of it earlier, Dan, but you had to tell me no.
Well,
No.
I was doing it for John's benefit, so you really can blame him.
Oh, doing it for the Vine, I see. Goddamn millennials.
Classic.
Jesus Christ.
And that's our show. Thanks for watching.
Come back next week for more nothing.
Oh, man. I apologize to everyone.
But now you get to hear Mad Dog.
Mad Dog.
Mad Dog.
Oh, did he call in?
Oh, he
did.
called in.
He called on the hotline, which you can't do, 508-216-0006 for the hotline numbers. Let you know whatever you want to tell us. Just let us know, and we'll chat later, okay?
Also, fair warning, if we don't have more fucking content, we're literally just going to have a podcast where we talk about anything else.
So if you want that, let us know in the show notes.
If you don't want that, get the fuck out.
I love that little nugget at the end. Like, truth bomb.
If you don't want it, you are no longer allowed to hang out with us or listen to the show. Delete it right now.
By the way, this is the last PUBG episode. Bye.
Bye.
You have new messages.
Hey guys, Mad Dog from Germany here. I would like to talk in a, what was it? Russian Chicago accent, but I can't really make it, so screw it. I joined your Discord, I joined your Twitter, I found your homepage, I screw Instagram, and what the hell is Patreon anyways? So I should be up to date with all your links, and I'm following you all the way. Keep up the good work, and have a good one. Your probably not the only one, but the only one you know about. Listener from Germany. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Hey, Bedford. This is Miss Bedford. Just wanted you to know that your precious Aunt Jemima is being held for ransom. And in order to get her back, your payment must be that you have to sit down with a plate of pancakes or waffles, whichever you choose, or both, and you have to film yourself putting maple syrup on those pancakes or waffles, and you have to say, maple syrup is so much better than Aunt Jemima. And if you think that you can just go to the store and buy more Aunt Jemima, you're wrong, because I will take that and also hold that for ransom. So you have to pay the piper, or else no more Aunt Jemima. So that is what you have to do to get her back.
Oh, guys, Mad Dog again. Just my apologies for screwing up your Reddit. I will never pass on your Reddit page anymore to anyone else. So my apologies. See you on Discord, mates. Bye-bye.